I want to welcome everyone to Global Markets Radio Week Ahead. I'm your host, Andrew Spanton. Sunday, April Fool's Day. And the market pulling in April Fool's as we gap up into the open. It's 4:27 right now, and our markets aren't open until 5 p.m. Eastern. China PMI coming out much better than expectations. 53. Holy crap. Wow. So the S&P, we should get a gap up, and we're looking at a weekly chart on the S&P 500. And while it looks a little toppy, making new highs. And we're probably going to make new highs, probably 1435, and then maybe, we get the mother of reversals. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe turnaround Tuesday. But this is a joke. If they launch the market, so be it. We don't reverse. I guess we have a real leg up, and then we're going to 15 freaking 100, 15, 1600, easy. Maybe we're even going to get up here. It's a bloody joke. But if we don't reverse, and we have a lot of data, people, this week, big week ahead. We get rate decisions, ECB, MPC, RBA. We get minutes out of the FOMC. We get jobs number. We get final GDP out of the Eurozone. We even get London manufacturing numbers and a ton of Australian data. As we see the Aussie. Certainly oversold. And I'll tell you, Friday, don't tell me they didn't know the number. The way they ran that yen carry trade to the moon. Holy crap. What a run-in. What are we doing here? Aussie I was going to do, but we'll do this one. Euro. Listen, 3 weeks of grinding up. This thing could be ready to explode. Now, I'll tell you, I saw a gorgeous article about Spain. Their housing market, they have the equivalent inventory as the United States does of 15 million, as if we have 15 million. We've got like 7. Maybe less. I mean, Spain is in big trouble. They have 50% unemployment of people under 21. And this is an educated somewhat compared to history in Spain. It's really bad. And if Spain goes, but for now, they're going to make a run for this line here, it looks like to me. They're going to make a run for 134 for 75. It's only 100 pips away. Should we take that out to the bloody moon, Alice? To the moon, fly me to the freaking moon. And then we just, do this crosshair. We're all the way up here. It's about 136.50. And when we take a look at the dollar index, animals are in charge, baby. You got to go with it, I guess. Looks like 78 easy. We take out 78, measure this move. We're talking 76 here. The floodgates. Certainly 76.50. But this level, which I think will hold, it's 91 cents away. If it can hold, if the S&P rips through, we hold here, and that would be about a euro dollar. In this zone here. It's 125 pips. It'd be the perfect spot to fade. So even though we are broken out, just about, it'd be a great spot. So I think we're going up. Then they're going to drill them. And it's probably not going to happen until the U.S. Open. And, of course, dollar yen does look very good. Dollar yen, I think, it's gapping up right now. Probably get a fill in the gap type trade. I think it opened at 82, it closed at 82.75. So we look at the weekly chart here. And it looks like we're going to make a push up here. Because when you look at all the other charts, they're all going. Sterling yen, it's already done it. It's already up there. When you look at the hourly chart, you know it's going here. Oh, it's going to make that triple top. It's already here now. Well, almost. Sterling yen gapping up around 133. So these are monster levels. I think we pull back. I think you fade this open. Okay. You look for another attempt, maybe a double top. They make another run. But that Japanese Tonkin coming out tonight, I think you got to be a little nervous about it. I think that's not going to be a great number. I think the Australian numbers aren't going to be very good. And I could see a nice sell-off. So while this is the Australian dollar, it's gapping up in this zone here. I don't think you can buy this open. I think you fade it, look for a pullback down to 104.20, and then you look to reverse and get long. Because obviously this news is good for Australia, China. What a number. We're gapping up here. I mean, the next spot is really 105. This is the daily Australian. Looks like 105 easy. Especially if we take out 104.60, which we're pretty much right around there now. 104.45 as we speak. We take that out, we got Momo to the moon. This thing is so oversold. Pound Aussie has ripped. And now completely reversing. But this is including the open, by the way. So this Pound Aussie could be a very nice trade to the downside. Euro Aussie could finally reverse. We could have an Aussie day of biblical proportions. It could be a one-way Monday, people. And you look at this weekly chart, I mean, these things were gone. Aussie closed terrible on Friday. Terrible. So now they're gapping down, so the weeklies, you can't really tell. But we hit monster wall here on Euro Aussie. And I think we could easily have a nice pullback, especially if the stock market's going to be gapping up, which is nuts. Gold, it's not necessarily nuts that the market's gapping up. It makes sense, but this market is so overbought. They're going to rip it the first day of the month and then drill them. Again, we have so much data coming up this week. And I think the RBA is going to set the tone. RBA is going to be very dovish. I think the RBA is going to set the case for a rate cut. PMI numbers coming down. Still uncertainty, blah, blah. But still. Gold, nice shooting star. Looks like it's going lower. As long as we don't take out 1,700, I think gold coming in. And again, look at this, dollar Swiss. Looks terrible. It's like it's falling off a cliff. Certainly we're going to make a retest of 89.50, you would think. Nice reversal candle on Friday. Means it could push straight down. Should be a nice 50 pip trade in it. And again, this euro, it's going to make a run to 34.75. This thing acts like a champ. It doesn't go down. Believe me, I've been short it. It doesn't go down. So there's only one thing to do. You got to get on board. And look at this weekly chart, New Zealand. Business confidence exploding there. You got this big, nice little tweezer bottom, all these wicks. This weekly looks good. We break out, boom, going up higher. Certainly a Fibonacci. That's up to 83.20. Be about 100 pips from here. Certainly playing catch up. And dollar Canada, this thing could easily break now. But I think it'll be a one-day wonder. I'm not looking for the stock market to do monster follow-through. I don't think the S&P. That's a weekly chart. When we look at the daily chart, I think we're going to pop. And this looks beautiful, right? You got your doji, your bullish engulfing, and now we're going to gap up. I think we fill in the gap, but we probably make a run. Listen, we could be up to 1435, 1433. And this market could reverse. We could be up 25 handles and then bang in your face. So again, I just don't see how we're going to run away. I would love it. I could see it. Maybe that would be the top. We have an outside candle. Maybe it's going to be tomorrow. Maybe it's going to be Tuesday. And we have the mother of turnaround Tuesdays. I don't know. But we get up here, and I think definitely. And again, all the good news, I would think it'd be safe to buy the pullback tonight. But I do look for nice reversals at those levels. I do think we could have the mother of shooting stars here. Perfect opportunity. First day of the month, the new quarter. the new week, or they hold them. Listen, they rally them for a couple of days. Maybe Australia, that number is going to be huge. Again, I think the RBA is going to indicate possibly cutting rates. That's Wednesday morning their time. So 105, sure, we could bounce to. I mean, from these levels, it's only 60 pips. But is the Aussie now going to explode? Well, I think that's if the S&P holds above 1425 and we're just going to 1500, then this thing could start flying. If you want to believe the China government versus HSBC, I'd sort of lean towards HSBC. And this difference is retarded. 48.3 versus 53 on the Chinese number. So I think this is a setup. I think this is a perfect opportunity, but you know what? These things go on. And technically, we had a nice pullback for a couple of days. They kept bringing them back. The market acted very strong. So we're probably going to bang up tonight. We could be up big. They could have this market up 200-300 points. Nothing would surprise me. So again, this dollar Swiss, we said, is falling off a cliff. And again, just running down the numbers tonight, this Japanese Tonkin number, I think certainly with these yens where they are, sterling yen, and this is a monster spot. We're looking at the daily. And this baby's ready to fly. We launched through 133.10. This baby could explode. Now, I think, again, we probably have a pullback. A nice fake out. And then maybe we go. But I just don't think this whole move in Asia with the Tonkin coming out, I think there's a big sell-off. Dollar yen also, I think, pulls back. And you get in. But if this dollar yen daily chart, should we take this out? We're heading back up to the highs. Abso-freaking-lutely. Dollar yen, train leaving the station, baby. You got a BOP at tonight. Amazing movement in dollar yen on Friday. Amazing. Nuts. But we take a look at all the yens. This Aussie yen is coming up to 86.70 we see here. This thing could have a long way to go. This thing easy buy on pullback. But that's really the only one. Kiwi yen. This baby, I don't know how much more it's got in it, but all these look like they could explode. But I don't know if I buy it. But I do think it's gonna be volatile. They're gonna bring them in, and I think your bias has to be buy on pullback. Unless these S&Ps reverse, these yen carry trades are gone. I mean, this baby, we could be talking to the moon. Loonie yen, another one, catch up. Nice pullback. Flagging. We can make a run back up to 85. Why not? Weekly chart looks good. Now again, if risk is really coming on, and this Australia is going to be back in favor, pound Aussie, that's going to be the one look to sell. Big time. Daily chart as we saw, nice shooting star, gorgeous. If it closes here. But I think you look to sell the strength if you get any. And again, but I do believe RBA is going to be, I'm absolutely sure, laying on the line, baby. RBA is going to be dovish. Now, we got a long way to go. We got all of today and tomorrow trading. And as far as the numbers, manufacturing PMI out of London, look for that number to suck. Euro sterling, it happens to look pretty good. They're trying to break this euro sterling out. Now, there was some good news out of Eurozone over the weekend. Excuse me. We did have, they increased the limit, the firewall to like $1 trillion. So that is not the worst news. That is kind of good. And you did have some austerity measures shoved through Greece's throat, which could be viewed as good as well. So certainly the daily doesn't look so great, but we don't take out Friday's lows. This could be a nice year. Certainly we don't take out 30.83. This baby might want to make a run. And I think London numbers are going to suck tonight. U.S. numbers, I don't think are going to be very good either. We got ISM manufacturing, 53.3. Last month was 52.4. So looking for a better increase. No way. I don't know if it's going to be a disaster. Manufacturing PMI in London, that was weaker the last time, 51.2, looking for 50.5. I could see it being in line. Maybe even better. But this euro sterling does look interesting on the long side. Again, I think cable is getting a little ridiculous. It's breaking out, I understand. But give me a freaking break. I mean, El Cable is going to El Muna. You thought I'd forget, didn't you? I mean, this channel line is so broken out. We were talking 163 now. Now, I do see some resistance on the daily at about 161.20. You can make a case. You measure the move from 160 down to 158.50. You look at 161.50. Bang. Right where the channel line pretty much nails it. It's a couple of days from now. But I just don't see how the economy is doing that well, and this baby's going to fly through 62. We get through 62. Houston, big problem. 61.75. Going to 63. Easy. Is air. But I'm looking for reversals. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. This is a joke. But again, we got to make money. So the bottom line is they're going to make a run for it. They're going to try and push higher. Why not make money on that side and then look to reverse in the U.S. session? And we look at the weekly chart. That's the way I think you ought to play it. Yeah, nice amount of resistance at that whole 61 zone. Big time. But again, I think this euro sterling could make a run. If it does, then that's going to hold back cable, and cable will be a nice short. So if euro sterling can hold and maybe even rally a little bit to this channel line here, that certainly would put the cap on cable, which I am looking for a reversal this week. No way it's closing over 160 this week. I'll make anyone a bet on that. All right, everyone. Again, big week ahead. ECB, MPC, minutes out of the Fed. All should be relatively dovish, except for the minutes from the Fed, of course, is going to be interesting because there's been dissension on the board. So that's another thing that could freak the market out on Tuesday. Holy crap, these guys just don't get it. Like they really want to cut credit. They really want to clamp down on us. They want to raise rates. These guys are serious. They're lunatics. So you never know. Bullard, I doubt it. The bottom line is Ben Bernanke is the one that makes his decisions in the end of the day. So while explosive and shocking, he makes the call. So, but I certainly could see the market selling off. All the market needs is anything, any reason to sell off, and then that's it. Good night. And I could see, like in this pound Aussie, a monster week where we gap up, we go higher, and then we come in. Big time. And then close the week strong. Wouldn't that be some hell of a week? So they're gapping it up, they're going to rip it, and then they crash it, and then you got to get long. Because, again, this is my sign. And if you've been a listener to my show, you've been known this was my call for 2012. Not that I've made so much money in it, because I can't consciously go nuts long on this thing just on the chart. I need things in my favor, like the stock market. If the stock market was going down, I'd be long the crap out of this thing. Stock market's going up, and this thing's going up. Someone's right. Someone's wrong. And I think the pound Aussie trade is more telling you stock market's going down. Risk is coming off. And this baby, you look at this thing, this has a long way to go. So I'm hoping now that this pound Aussie, we're going to get a nice sell-off. But when that stock market turns, if we reverse, this is the one you want to get back long. Abso-freaking-lutely. Risk off. So I think you saw at the end of this month the weakness in the Australian dollar. I mean, really closed terrible. We look at this weekly chart. Terrible. Below previous weeks, lows it took out. Closing horrible, and it's gapping up now. So I expect a wild week. I do not think we take out 106. Maybe 105.50 we make a run. But at the end of the day, I believe HSBC over China government agency report. And I'm sure there wasn't some other stuff I touched on. But again, this market, I think, again, we are going at the end of the day lower at the end of this week. I think this could be the week we reverse. We're gapping up. You got to go with it. But at the end of the day, look to lay out those shorts. We're either going to reverse tomorrow or have a one-way tomorrow and then a turnaround Tuesday. Either way, have some bullets. Get ready. More action ahead. Andrew Spanton, Global Markets Radio, the voice on Twitter, on Facebook, and the only voice you'll ever need who truly loves to make you money. Oh, baby. Get ready. Lock and load.